How has bluffing frequency evolved in poker? Have you ever wondered how bluffing frequency has changed in poker over the years? Let's take a closer look at this fascinating evolution. In the early days of poker, players relied heavily on their instincts and basic probability when deciding to bluff. Bluffing was a simple psychological tactic aimed at deceiving opponents to win pots without having strong hands. As the game progressed, players began to adopt a more structured approach to bluffing. The introduction of mathematical principles and game theory transformed how players viewed their strategies. No longer was bluffing just a random act. It became a calculated decision based on probabilities, opponent behavior, and specific game situations. One of the key shifts in understanding bluffing frequency came with the concept of game theory optimal play. This approach teaches players to balance their bluffing with value betting. The goal is to keep opponents guessing, making them indifferent about whether to call or fold. This balance is essential to avoid becoming predictable at the table. Another important factor in bluffing frequency is the number of opponents in a hand. When facing multiple players, the chances that at least one will call your bluff increase. This means that bluffing in multi-way pots should be done more selectively. Players must think carefully about when to bluff, as the risk of being called rises significantly. In today's poker landscape, bluffing frequency is no longer a fixed number. Players adjust their bluffing tactics based on the skill levels and tendencies of their opponents. Against inexperienced players, bluffing less often can yield better results. However, against aggressive or skilled opponents, using strong blockers can make bluffing more effective. Overall, bluffing frequency has transformed from a basic psychological trick into a sophisticated tactic rooted in mathematics and strategy. Players now utilize data and probability to determine when and how often to bluff, aiming to maintain unpredictability while maximizing their expected value. This evolution reflects poker's growth into a game of skill and strategic deception, where understanding bluffing frequency is key to success.